The Mount Moon Review podcast, while a podcast about Pokemon, is not intended for children. You can expect some instances of adult humor, coarse language, and adult situations. Parental discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 36 of the Mount Moon Review podcast, the only podcast that prefers its Corona in a bottle. I am your host, the Raz with my co-host, the Blue Duck Gold Duck, bringing you everything you need to know from the world of Pokemon in the last week in about an hour. This has been a trying week, Duck.
Yes, it has.
I mean, it's pretty much, we're going to stop playing Pokemon and we're going to start playing Resident Evil. That's pretty much what I'm coming up with. When I was in China a couple years ago, we were walking around in the mall and I saw these big signs, and I'll have to send you, I'll post it on my Twitter. There was these signs and it was a store. It said the Umbrella Corporation. And it looked from the outside like Umbrella had a store, but they sold Christmas stuff. Strangest damn thing. But, right now, I mean, it's kind of the situation that we're in. I'm half expecting to see people lumbering down the street,
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. And ironically enough, if you arrange the letters in Corona, you can actually spell raccoon.
Thanks, Duck. I needed that. So,
like Raccoon City?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
So you and I are on two separate ends of the country, both of us located in the United States, and we're having very different issues. It seems like you up in the Pennsylvania region are going through a lot more than I am right now, but we're catching up.
Yeah.
I work in city government, and I've had to make a lot of decisions in the last couple days, and tomorrow is not going to be a fun time for me. I'm just going to put it to you that way and leave it at that for now. But in the world of Pokemon, things are getting... I think Pokemon's pretty much canceled at this point.
Pokemon is canceled.
Yeah, no more Pokemon.
Fun is canceled.
No more fun. We're just going to cancel fun.
Canceled.
So, what's been going on with you this week?
So today I got a couple of concerning messages over the weekend about canceling my Pokemon League. And I was like, I don't know. At the same time, I don't want to motivate people to come out and get exposed to this disease, but at the same time, I feel like it should still be people's choice if they're going to or not. So I was just putting feelers out, to the group. I'm in a group chat with a bunch of people in my league, and I'm like, hey, who's coming to league? And most of them were saying that, like, hey, I'd still go if you have it. I'm like, okay, so I'll probably have it. Not 10 minutes later, I see that the governor told all non-essential businesses to shut down, and that includes most card shops. So
Not
all
most,
the Pokemon
all.
leagues in my my area are closing.
So Governor Wolf back in Pennsylvania, where you're at, they ordered everything pretty much shut down. I know even tonight at midnight, even the liquor stores are closing down, which is unprecedented in Pennsylvania. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially today I had to do a conference call with the governor here in Oklahoma, and during that call there was a press conference going on with President Trump, and the CDC made recommendations that there are no gatherings over 10 people at this point. Yesterday it was 50. Now we're down to 10.
Yeah, geez, I didn't even know about the 10 people one.
That was just here a couple hours ago. So that's what the CDC is recommending. As such, in most states that's being enforced, and Pokemon is pretty much non-existent at this point. A lot of the professors that have been like staples in the community that are the pillars have these great leagues. They're all transitioning online at this point because they know that for the time being there is not going to be any gatherings. I mean, just as a realization of how bad it's getting. If you are a fan of professional wrestling in any way, shape, or form, we're coming up on WrestleMania, which is the biggest event of the year. It takes place in a football stadium typically because that's the only place that's large enough to handle it. and it's now being moved to a closed set. There'll be no audience. So that is the kind of the impact that we're going with this. So the fact that your local card shop is not going to be having Pokemon leagues kind of inconsequential, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
So, Pokemon, it has put out a couple things talking about this, and one of the things they put out is that they're currently evaluating how the tournament cancellations may impact the Pokemon Championship Series qualifications, stipends, and travel awards. They're going to be coming out with a message in regards to how they're going to handle that here in the very near future. But for the time being, we don't even know if Worlds is going to happen, especially considering it's supposed to be in London. And we spoke about this last week. The logistics of moving it at this point would be astronomical. The idea of just moving it alone, I don't think it'd even be possible. And just looking at the live statistics like I have been due to work, I don't foresee most of the UK getting back on its feet in regards to being able to host these large events in time. So it's my prediction that Worlds is going to be canceled, but as of right now, it's not. It is not as of right now, but that's my prediction. But
Gotta be better by then, right?
So right now I work in city government. Prior to that, I worked in healthcare, a healthcare system, a 9-hospital system. And my primary job when I did that was to sit in a dark room and figure out how to kill as many people as possible. What I mean by that, because that sounds very dark, is I came up with worst case scenarios and decided how it was that we were going to react to those scenarios. And I had to have a lot of involvement with the CDC, the World Health Organization, and Department of Health. And this is kind of the tabletops that we ran. But this kind of scenario, this is not going to go away anytime soon. We're looking at least a year and a half of this. You're not going to be to this extreme, mind you. But it's not. You're still going to be hearing people getting infected a year from now. It's just the way it's going to be. Israel is the closest to getting into a vaccination at this point, but again, with the regulations we have in both the EU, the UK, and in the US, we're looking at 3 years before that vaccination comes to market. So there's a possibility, considering the pandemic, that they may lessen those requirements, and but you're still looking at a year out before we start seeing widespread vaccinations.
Jeez.
I am doom and gloom, folks. I am doom and freaking gloom. But being as they canceled all the schools down here until April 6th, I have every right to be doom and gloom because now I'm stuck here with the kids. But we have some bright sides and everything, and people are actually trying to do the right thing with everything like this. Businesses are coming together and offering meals for children who are don't have access to them, but the schools being out. There's businesses that are trying their best. Let's just put it that way. And with Pokemon, in regards to that, Niantic's one of them. What Niantic's been doing this week is they've gotten rid of the requirement to walk. So one of the things they did was the Go Battle League's requirements no longer require you to walk, and you can now remote battle with good friends and higher for the next 30 days. Also, with Pokemon Go, if you go into the shop right now for one Pokecoin, you can get a box of 30 incense. So that'll bring the stuff to you so that you can play from the comfort of your couch, in theory.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I went and spent my one Pokecoin and got the 30 incense. So
are these lure do you need to be at a Pokestop for these, or do these just bring them?
For the ones at a Pokestop, that's a lure module. An incense is just you drop it, and like every 30 seconds or so, you can attract a Pokemon at that point, and they last for about 30 minutes.
Okay, that's pretty awesome of them.
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, you can't knock it.
Is it only one? Or can you just keep buying this?
No, you can only buy it once.
Okay.
Now, I imagine if this continues, for a longer period of time, you're going to see other things come out. But that's what they have for right now. So take advantage of it. Get over to the shop and get yourself the incense. I mean, if worst case scenario, they sit in your inventory.
Yeah,
So,
might as well.
what else do you got for us on the VG side there, Ducky?
So Pokemon Day, they revealed that they were going to be distributing the Pokemon Zarude, the Dark and Grass monkey Pokemon.
Because that's what we
And
need, is an air bloody monkey Pokemon.
yep. Um, Japan, we only know how Japan's getting it so far. They are getting it when they pre-order tickets, they're getting a code they can use on, I think it's July 15th. They can use the code to get Zarude into the game. And the code is also going to be with that code. You're also going to be able to get Shiny Celebi, which is another Pokemon featured in the movie with Zarude.
I was not aware of that one. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
They
released a second trailer for the movie, and it showed Shiny Celebi.
Oh, so it's not even just Celebi; it's Shiny Celebi in the trailer.
Shiny Celebi, yeah.
Wow. Is that the first time we've seen a shiny in a movie?
Usually there is a shiny in the movie. There was one usually it's not legendaries. Well, I guess Celebi's a mythical, but we did see shiny Genesect in the Genesect movie. So it's not the first shiny legendary we've seen.
Cool. Anything else on the VGC side?
That's it. We don't know how America's gonna get the Pokemon. I'm sure it'll just be a regular mystery gift though.
They could either do a mystery gift, or you could see the Pokemon Pass. But with everything going on right now, the idea of Pokemon Pass being implemented doesn't seem very likely, because that would require people to go within a geo fence, such as like a GameStop or something like that, or a Target or what have you. You're probably right. It's probably most likely going to be in the form of a mystery gift or a code for mystery gift.
We were just talking in a group chat that we didn't think GameStop was going to open back up after this.
You know what? I didn't think about that, but you're probably right.
I wouldn't be surprised, but that remains to be seen.
Well, they've been in dire straits now for a while. I mean, the whole implementation of doing the tech trades to try to keep their head above water, it was quite apparent they're just trying to get to limp along until the next set of consoles came out. And at this point, there's virtually no way those consoles are coming out on time. Because all of our tech is coming from China, which again has been shut down.
Development on those consoles has slowed down by, I don't know if it's even developing at all right now.
Development should be about done, but at this point we should be getting ready for production.
Well, right, and production was already being slowed by the G5 smartphones.
Yeah,
they're using the same parts as they were trying to use for like the PlayStation 5, and now PlayStation 5s don't have cameras, and they originally were going to have cameras built in, and all this stuff is changing now, and Sony doesn't even think they can sell the PS5 for a profit.
Well, traditionally most consoles aren't sold for a profit.
So yeah, they profited $20 off of every PS4 sold.
Yeah,
they don't even know if they can make that much because it's already $450 just to build it.
Yeah, traditionally the only company that has ever made a profit off its consoles is Nintendo. For the most part, most companies will produce the consoles simply because if the consoles aren't in the consumer's hands, they won't be able to buy software, or they won't buy software because they have nothing to play it on. So it's important. Yep. So they'll take a loss on the console to make the software on the back end. But at this point, like you were saying with GameStop, if they end up having enough revenue loss over time, I don't foresee them coming back, like you said, because they're limping along. I mean, they are limping along on a prayer at this point, and with the loss that they're probably going to take. Because I did get an email from GameStop saying that we're committed to keeping our stores clean and open. Well, gee, because if you don't keep them open, but at the same time, I went to GameStop the last 2 days trying to get a particular game, and we got just enough to cover our pre-orders. We didn't get any extras. And then so it's like, well, I'm not going to pre-order anything from you because I don't know if you're going to be here when I go to pick it up. So now
Yeah.
that if it's not going to be available for you, I'm going to digital download it and say the heck with you. I mean,
Yeah, I think I'm switching to Walmart. They're letting you pre-order stuff now,
are they
which means you'll
really?
get pre-order bonuses. Yep, and they sell their games for $10 cheaper than GameStop does at
Yeah,
retail price.
a lot of their games are $10 cheaper anymore. So, not all of them, but a lot of them are.
Now,
And
if only I could take stuff from around my house and trade it in for Walmart store credit.
I got an old cell phone. Can I get a copy of Doom?
Yeah.
Will you take my Funko Pops for a? Yeah, where am I gonna get my Funko Pops when GameStop closes?
Amazon.
Yeah. Well, see, a lot of the stores had also tried to revamp and become essentially what amounted to console arcades, where they were having gaming chairs set up with 10 to 12 consoles set up, and they were doing like basically like internet cafes back in the 90s. And at this point, GameStop's already closed all those, so then now they're just going back to straight retail, and it's going to obliterate them, like you said. I know this is a Pokemon podcast, and we kind of went down the rabbit hole of GameStop, but it makes a lot of sense when Duck said it. So now I gotta pursue it a little bit.
Yeah, poor GameStop. Rip.
Well, I'm not totally butthurt about them going away if they go away, but we'll see what happens. The fact of the matter is, I don't want to see anybody lose their livelihood, and a lot of people depend on the paycheck they get from trying to get you to get the warranty.
Yep.
Never get the warranty, kids. Ever. Never get the warranty.
Don't you want a credit card?
No, I want them to get it through their skulls that I don't, whether I have a warranty or not, if it's a defective product, I can bring it back and you're going to give me my money back. Whether I bought your warranty or not. But, I digress. So that's it's just to get off the GameStop subject. Let's get out of VGC. Let's move over to TCG.
All right. So we got some news of some products coming out in the later half of 2020, and it's going to be the holiday set.
Woohoo!
We don't have a name yet, but it's we got like they revealed what they're doing, and it's pin boxes, elite trainer box collection, like some sort of unnamed box collection. And then the premium GX box.
That sounds intriguing.
If it's a GX box, that means it's not a Pokemon V box.
Oh, you're right.
And I believe, I think we've predicted over and over, that the cards that Japan has from their Tag All-Star set are finally going to be printed in English in this holiday set. There's a slew of gold tag team cards, a bunch of Rainbow Rare Pokemon GX and Full Art GX artwork we never got.
Yeah, so
there's a Dedenne reprint.
Welcome back, Shining Legends.
Basically.
Essentially, that's what it is. Yeah, they're going to be reprints and alternate arts of cards that we've already had.
Mm-hmm. And then a set mixed in there some way. Japan does have a special set coming out that goes along with this movie with Zarude and Celebi. So I'm sure that it's basically the same thing they did with Shining Legends. They did that set came out in Japan along with one of their movies, and then we got the English cards in our Shining Legends set.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. Shining Legends.
There was two of them close by like that. Well, then there was there was a couple of them like that, but everyone was going crazy because Zoroark. Well, no, it's still an expanded, buddy.
Yeah.
Just because they're selling it again doesn't mean it's been reprinted. So you gotta look at the symbol. You gotta look at the numbers. Come on, kids, do your homework.
But yeah, I believe this is gonna be. I'm actually predicting 2 boxes. One with trainers, that is basically the premium, the X and Y premium collection box that we got, that had like the full art N and the full art blacksmith, all these different cards that we never got the artworks for.
The cards that made the prices just absolutely tank.
Yes,
that's what it was.
Yes, those cards. So it's probably coming again. There's a whole bunch of full art trainer cards we don't have, and I believe they're probably mostly going to come in one box, and then another box containing the GXs, the actual Pokemon that we didn't get. Or there will be 2 boxes, and each will have a mix of both trainers and Pokemon. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of those.
I think option number 2 is probably the most likely scenario. So I think you're going to see 2 boxes, but they're going to be a mix of both. So look for that in the. Do we have a dates on those ones?
We actually have dates for everything.
Well, lay it on us there, Duckman.
Let me see. I didn't put it in the outline because I didn't think we were going to talk about it.
Do you remember Duckman?
Duckman? No.
Duckman. It was on FX when it first started, I believe. Oh, you would have hated it. It was raunchy as hell.
Oh, yeah, I don't like raunchy.
Yeah, you'd have hated it.
So pin boxes come on September 18th. The unnamed box comes on October 2nd. And on November 1st is the premium GX box.
So just so everyone knows, the quickest way to Duck's heart is through pins. So if you happen to come across an extra pin and you want to give it to Duck, he'll gladly accept them.
Huh, I didn't know you knew how much I like pins.
I did, because when I came up back to Pennsylvania back in...
Oh yeah.
What one was that? We did the League Cup for Extra Life.
Yeah.
You came around, you gave me a Mimikyu pin, but you would not let go of it until you finished your speech about how you want it back.
Yeah, I am a sucker for enamel pins. I gave up trying to... when I first started playing the card game, I wanted to collect all the promos. And then I realized I was spending my money, a lot of money, on cards that didn't matter, just to get them out of the boxes. But one thing I never lost, faith in was the pins. Yeah, so at one point I had almost all the enamel pins, and have since not spent much money on Pokemon cards. So I don't. I
got my my 2019 Worlds pin still in the one of the World Championship deck boxes out in my shed, and I just haven't opened it yet. Yeah. But those are the pins that I want to get, not the individual Pokemon, but the ones that actually were from events. Those are the kinds that I like.
Yeah.
But like you, I really liked the Pokemon League promos. So the promo card when you go to your local league and they have those for you just for showing up. Those are the ones that's the only real cards I collect. If it has to be some kind of special promo like that. But the Pokemon League ones specifically are the only things I've really diehard collected. And since I've had to give up my league, the professor that took over for me, he was sending them to me, but he stopped. So I need to have a word with him. But yeah, that's I get it. You got to pick. You can't collect all the cards, so you got to pick something. And
oh no. Totally.
But I'm a sucker for anything Mimikyu, so you're really lucky you got that pin back. You're lucky I liked you.
Surprised you didn't just buy one when they were around.
That would require me getting out of this chair, putting on real pants, not sweatpants, and then going to the store, and I just haven't been I just don't have the gumption to do that right now.
I feel you.
I feel like if I go out there to Walmart right now, that's when the zombies are going to rise up out of the ground. You laugh. Zombies are coming.
Oh, you better watch out for your nemesis.
My nemesis?
Yeah.
What's my nemesis?
It's another Resident Evil joke.
Oh, that's dumb.
Koro this month revealed that well, actually, so I need to change this in the format or in our little outline, but
just do it on the fly. You can do it.
Japan's getting 2 starter decks that focus on VMAX Pokemon. So they're getting a Charizard VMAX deck and a Grimmsnarl VMAX deck, and the artwork on these cards is probably the best VMAXs and V Pokemon we've seen yet.
I'm a fan of the Charizard one. Now the Gigantamax Charizard, not so much. I don't really like how it's colored. It just kind of looks like a mess. But the Grimmsnarl one, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So the VMAX cards kind of have a bunch going on, and I can see how it takes away from the overall art. But I think the 2 Vs look crisp. I really like them.
I mean, I think the Grimmsnarl one looks a little CGI'd, but I can live with it. But I like that Charizard that came out with the Charizard V. That's a pretty hot little card.
Yeah,
But
I think I'm going to be getting this one for the binder, even though I don't play anymore.
but we do have some bizarre translations on these cards, and we don't speak Japanese, folks. I'm sorry. I don't mean to break the illusion, but we're not all knowing, and I don't. I can recognize Japanese kanji from Chinese and Korean, but I can't read it. So we're reliant on other sources to translate these cards. But before we started the podcast, Duck was trying to read me what is on the Grimmsnarl card.
Yeah.
Read what you said to me.
Okay, so this is for the Grimmsnarl VMAX. Requires 3 Dark Energy, G-Max Drill, 170 damage, plus this attack does 50 more damage for each extra Dark Energy attached to this Pokemon, but not used to pay for this attack. Energy beyond the second doesn't count.
Yeah, I think that's got to be a bad translation.
I'm thinking. So how I think this card works.
I think it's 170 plus 50 for every additional energy card attached.
Right, but no more than 100 damage added.
Yeah. So a maximum of 5 energy attached.
Exactly. I believe that's what they said. There's been similar cards that had effects like this, like, hey, you can boost this damage, but there's a cap.
Yeah.
And they were worded in English in a way that made more sense. So it's probably the same as one of those cards.
That would be my guess. I mean, the fact of the matter is there is no direct translation between a lot of Asian languages and English. So it's pretty much just kind of like, this is what it means, and then you have to translate it accordingly. So a lot of times you'll see the cards that are in Japanese, and if you direct translate them, they make no sense whatsoever. So it's up to the localization team with Pokemon Company International to give us something that makes sense, and that's typical.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you agree. But yeah, there's some hot cards. We don't have the translations for the other ones, but I know that VMAX Charizard has some insane energy requirements on there. Look at that. It's like three.
Oh no, we have the text for that Charizard. It's just like traditional Charizard cards. They're not that good.
But oh my lord, dude, 3 energy, 3 fire energy, and 2 colorless.
Yep.
But it's also doing 300 damage. So
G-Max Wildfire, discard 2 energy from this Pokemon.
Oh, geez.
So it's your traditional fire type attack. Maybe, I mean, too bad Mewtwo can't copy this.
Oh, because it's a VMAX and not a GX.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be hot with Welder.
Yep.
Jeez. Okay.
I don't think you're going to see much play. The Grimmsnarl might.
Well, the Charizards typically never see much play.
No, we got lucky with the last couple Charizard cards that they're actually good. But yeah, usually they're not.
No,
a good card.
Usually people are like, "Oh, the new Charizard! I'll put this in my binder and forget about it."
Yes, but we got lucky with the team up.
Yeah, the team
baby
up.
Charizard.
The baby Charizard that was a good little deck.
That was my boy.
I played with that for a while. I actually played in a couple of little events with that one. But it was a good little deck.
Yeah, and then obviously, I mean, Charizard and Reshiram tag team has been, a runner for the best card and format for a while. Or one of the best decks. It's never been the best, I don't think, but
no,
it's always been up there.
So this year, both of us pretty much went into it like guns blazing, and then both decided that we're not going to Worlds.
Yeah,
and we both kind of backed off pretty quick this year. You've pretty much got out of TCG almost entirely, and I was making a big push for VGC. But I with having to move and new jobs and finishing up school, which did I tell you I have 1 class left and I'm done?
Yep.
1 class. That's it. 1. Creative writing. Shoot me now.
That was my favorite class.
So
I love writing.
I think we got out at the right time, though, because with everything that's happening, no worlds. If they do have worlds, the points are going to be, we don't know. Do they change the point? This is an opinion. Let me ask what your opinion is, Doug. Do you lower the point threshold so that more people, so the amount of people that traditionally go to the World Championship can go to the World Championship, or do you keep the points as they are now, knowing that you'll get less people to come, but more people that are of a higher caliber?
So I don't think I've ever voiced this opinion to you, but I think too many people get into Worlds to begin with.
Actually, you and I had that conversation at DC.
Oh, we did? Okay. Yeah, I
Mhm.
think if you have people that are the top 16 players in the world, undisputably by points, then why don't you just have a tournament between the top 16, feature every single match, and then have a huge event where people can just go and play? You know, have multiple tournaments going on for the higher caliber players that, you know, make them have required points. Now, obviously, if it's run like Worlds was last year, this is impossible. But
Worlds last year was run like an elementary school play. I mean, it was haphazard at best. Where they didn't quite know what was going on. They were changing rules halfway through the tournament. The side events, God help you. Uh, it was a cluster. It really was. It was just a cluster.
but yeah, I mean, if they have to knock Worlds down and only certain people can go, then I mean, that's not, to me, that's not that big of a deal.
So what? Traditionally, there's been about 500 people. Is that about
Yeah.
right? So if it got knocked down to say 100,
Yeah.
I think that'd be manageable for starters. But two, I think you'd see a higher caliber of play too.
hmm No, I totally agree. Now, does it suck that the underdog can't come through? Nobody even knew this guy's name. He makes it in, he gets the points to Worlds. He comes through. He's in the top 8. He wins. Is it a bummer that that guy can't do it if they're only having like, you know, 130, you know, maybe 32 people? Is that does suck, but hey, I think it makes the whole entire tournament a little bit more interesting if you just take the top players.
It does. Now, Worlds is a money making event. It is.
Yeah.
Make no mistake. It's not about, well, we really want to determine who's the best. No, we want to make money, folks. Yes. I mean, that's what it is. And they make money hand over fist at these events. You'd be shocked at the amount of money they make on these events. And yeah, would it be in their best interest just to cancel outright if they're not able to get that amount of people? Yeah, it probably would be. From a financial standpoint. Now, if you're looking at this from somebody who looks at a long-term goal, you're thinking to yourself, well, we need to keep interest in the product. So do we lower the point threshold and allow the amount of people we traditionally have? Do we keep the point threshold the same and have a more competitive atmosphere so that there's more excitement around it? But we worry about then disillusioning people that we're trying to go. But at the same time, you know, with things the way they are in the current, you know, climate, are you going to get that amount of people that will go?
Oh, that's true.
I mean, you couldn't get me to go to Italy right now.
Yeah.
I mean, now, granted, it's in London, not Italy, but so it's in the UK. But you know, things are going to get worse before they get better. I honestly and earnestly believe they're going to cancel, but they won't pull that trigger until closer to the event. This past weekend, we had events going on where they didn't cancel until Saturday morning, and I'm sorry, that is completely and totally unacceptable to have people travel, you know, taking the time off of work, putting the expense into getting there, putting the expense of being there alone. And then, you know, when they show up to the event, have somebody at the door saying, sorry, we're not going to do it. That is absolutely ridiculous. People need to lose their jobs over that. And quite frankly, there should have been some kind of public apology by now. And there hasn't been, nor will there be. But that's my opinion. It's not, may not be yours, may not be Duck's. What is Duck's?
No, I agree. I didn't even realize that happened.
Yeah. So
Was that here or was that another country?
That was in the U.S.
That was I think Charlotte was about to happen. Is
yes.
that that's where it happened?
Yep. That's the reports that I've been reading on Twitter as people showed up and were turned away.
They probably realized they didn't have enough bathrooms. Did you go to that one?
That's pretty much traditional at all Pokemon events, is it not?
No, there's usually like 3 or 4 bathrooms in the convention hall. We had access to one at the Charlotte Regionals, and there was like 1,500 people.
Ugh.
It sucked.
That just sounds bad.
It was the worst regionals I've been to by far. And they accidentally gave me 2 swag bags.
But I bet you didn't turn the other one in, did you?
No.
I'll tell you right now, I am so upset. I've been seeing people selling more and more stuff because they're getting angry and, not really justifiably so, but they're getting angry about, if I'm not going to Worlds, I'm not playing anymore. I'm selling all my stuff. If anybody wants to sell me a Worlds 2019 competitor's backpack at a decent price, come at me. Come at me. I had one in my possession, and I should have told the guy it was stolen, but it was. I did actually, but I relented and I gave it to him. That's an awesome bag. Come on, you gotta admit it.
Yeah, but then he sold it.
I know, and they didn't sell it to me. That's what I'm kind of upset about.
Yeah.
If you're gonna sell it, at least sell it to me. Well, actually, I wouldn't. Let's tell the story. Hell, let's tell the story.
Oh.
Let's put him on Front Street. So Duck and I go to World Championships. I go with my family, my wife and children. Duck, you went with everybody that you ever met that has a heartbeat.
Like 5 other local players in the same hotel room. Yeah.
Well, no, you started out with 5. How many did you end with?
Oh well, that's what we ended with 5.
Okay, but
We
you were
added
also
people like last minute.
You were stuffing people in that hotel room.
Uh-huh.
And you all went to breakfast too, didn't you? Yeah, yes,
Yep.
you did. But one of our friends decided he's not going, and he stayed behind, but was on the internet, the root of all evil, folks.
Mm-hmm.
And he worked out a deal with someone to buy their bag, and then had one of Duck's hotel mates track this guy down the convention center, fronted the cash for it. Oh, no, he paid it online. Paid like half of it online. Then once the guy got the bag, he paid the other half or whatever. And then it was almost to the point where he was asking like for pictures of his bag every 10 minutes to make sure he still had it.
Yeah, it was getting a little bit
Excessive.
Yeah.
Excessive. And the guy that got the bag trunched, just like looked like a beaten dog to meet me in the lobby to give me the bag because I would be back a couple hours sooner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, you're leaving first? Can you just have them give you your stuff so I can get it when you get back?
And I promptly told him it was stolen. Someone robbed me because that was a sketchy part of town, man.
It really was.
I saw some sketchy things in Washington.
I'm glad I had an army to walk back to the hotel with.
Yeah, you and your nerd army.
Yep.
But then it turns around like 3 weeks later and sold the damn thing.
Yeah. Now, in his defense, he thought it was a regular sized backpack and it was actually pretty small. And he didn't realize how small it was till it was in his hands. He couldn't even get his laptop in it.
Yeah, I just wish he would have sold it to me. You know?
Oh yeah, no.
Or at least the guy that that went and got it for him. You know.
I think he didn't want to let us know that he was selling it right away. But little did he know that we all check the market websites on Facebook and everything religiously. So obviously we saw his post and we're like,
thanks, Verbank. Thanks, Verbank Pokemart. And then instantly everyone was just giving him hell for days.
Yeah.
Not that he didn't have it coming.
Yeah, no, and he basically took it.
He took it. He took it like a man.
Yeah,
I'll give it
he
to
knew
him.
he knew he was in the wrong.
Oh, geez. So we got a couple things left on the docket yet. Pokemon Masters. What you got on that end?
Yeah, so they're adding Sabrina next. Uh,
Sabrina.
Sabrina paired with Alakazam, and if the past has shown us anything, we knew we got Mega Pidgeot. Mega Pidgeot has really high special attack. We knew we were getting Mega Charizard. Mega Charizard has really high special attack. These are two of the best Pokemon in the game, and now they're adding Alakazam, who has higher special attack than both of them, and it has a Mega Evolution. So, I mean, this Alakazam may end up doing more damage than Charizard.
I'm not a big Pokemon Masters guy. We know this, but I do know there's some excitement around this.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think the Pokemon stats directly translate into their stats in Pokemon Masters, but I wouldn't be surprised if Mega Alakazam is hitting harder and faster than what we have currently.
The question of the day is, what's the ratio going to be to get the?
It's probably going to be boosted at I think it's 5% normally, as opposed to 1% for all the other 5 stars. I think that's what happens when they do a banner. But also, we've seen them do up to 10% chances for the trainers that were under banners.
Was that more than once that they did that?
It was for Red and Steven. It was for Red, Steven, and then the electric type trainer from Gen 5 with the Rotom. Those were all 10%. But that could have just been because it was Pokemon Day events.
It's possible.
Yeah. So who knows how much it'll be a higher percentage than any of the other 5 stars in when you draw under that particular banner.
Gotcha. Okay. So you gonna try to get it?
I'll try. I'm not that worried about it though. I'm not in love with Sabrina the way I like Charizard. So I should have said Alakazam because I'm not in love with Sabrina the way I'm in love with Red. Yeah. I mean, I don't like Alakazam as much as I like Charizard. Is what I mean.
Okay. We'll let that slide. This time.
I'm nostalgic for Alakazam though. It's usually on, like when I play through a generation. If it's in the game, I usually play with it because it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's a lot of times the getting to that point in the evolution chain can be a bit of a pain in the butt. But
right. Usually, I have somebody plan like, hey, as soon as this hits level 16, let me trade it to you.
Yeah.
So I don't ever play with Kadabra.
Yeah, it's one of the ones that has a trade requirement attached to it. So it's
exactly.
It is. I hate those because I don't know anybody like locally that I can trade with like that. But now with the advent of doing stuff over the internet, it's a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
And now with Pokemon Home, I can do it whenever I want.
Well, here's what you got to do: you got to get a second Game Boy, a link cable, and a second game, and then you can trade all you want.
Are you serious?
I used to, yeah.
Maybe like 10 years ago.
Well, yeah, back in the day, that's how I did
when
it.
Game Boys actually existed.
Yeah, and they're still kicking.
That's the thing. They're hard to kill. I mean,
my SPs are still kicking. One of them, I still have 2 SPs and a link cable. And one SP, it has to be plugged into the charger or it just turns off randomly.
Oh, that's fun.
And there's no autosave feature on the Game Boy Advance games either. It's weird.
Well, it's just a limitation with the cartridge.
Oh no, I know. I was just kidding. But yeah, the other one's still kicking, still fine. You can leave that thing turned on for like 3 days in a row and it doesn't die.
Nintendo traditionally makes a good console.
Yeah.
They know their audience. Today I got a text message from my wife that my youngest son shattered the screen on his Switch.
Oh no.
I was seething with anger. And then I remembered to ask, did he break the screen or the screen protector? And she didn't know. So when I got home today, that's the first thing I looked at. Peeled that screen protector off, not a mark on the Switch.
That's amazing.
So my advice to everybody, there is different kinds of screen protectors. There's ones that are just like the plastic. don't get those. Get the ones that are actually tempered glass. Because this will be the second screen protector I've seen shattered. And not a mark is on the Switch either time.
That's awesome.
So make sure you're getting the tempered glass ones, folks. That's advice from Raz, and it's free. You don't have to pay for it.
But if you subscribe to Raz Plus, then you can get even more advice.
Yeah, I'll actually show you how to put the bloody thing on, which, let me tell you...
And it's ad-free.
Ad-free? No, I'll still do ads. I'll tell you, it's not the easiest thing in the world to put on. Not to get, to have anything underneath and not have the bubbles.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a lot of prep work, and you got to do it just right. But it's definitely worth your time to actually put the glass ones on there and do it correctly. So that's all I got. Duck, do you have anything else for us this week?
That's it.
All right. Well, it's a short week, but again, there's not a whole lot going on because all the events are canceled. We will still be here each and every week. There's always going to be information coming out. And worst case scenario, we'll tell you stupid stories that are, not really entertaining, but give you something to listen to because there's nothing else to do right now and you're stuck at home.
Yeah, we will definitely be committed to always having an episode, even if we get sick.
Even if, dude, I've been death's doornail. We've had duck-centric episodes where I turn my camera off, mute my mic, and I'm coughing up a storm. Now, unfortunately for Duck, he still has to listen to me cough.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I paused when you started coughing. And I'm like, I can't believe he's recording it with the coughing. What is he doing? And then you're like, yo, they can't hear me right now. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm on Discord.
There's the big secret, folks. We use Discord.
Yeah.
So, if you do look for some entertainment this week, do check out our other show that is only available on YouTube right now. So if you look up the Mount Moon Crew, you will find our YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell because that's what we're supposed to say. But really, it does help. And you can check out our new show titled The Untitled Anime Show, where Duck, myself, and the newest member of the Mount Moon Crew, Sadar, three of us give our opinions about old anime, new anime. Sadar does a lot of research into just mostly stuff you didn't know you wanted to know, and she presents that to you. We do have a rating system, and we will then give opinions and where you can see the product. We've already done episode 1, and that was Overlord Season 1. And I believe this week we are filming another episode for the Ancient Magus's Bride. And just a sneak peek for that, I enjoyed it. I believe Duck enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact Sadar enjoyed it. So it's going to be a very glowing review. But we do have some... So we're not going to sit there and just blow sunshine completely up its butt. So make sure you're checking it out on YouTube. You can also catch us both on Twitter at Blue Duck Gold Duck and _Raspberry01. That's Blue Duck Gold Duck without the E, folks. And I am pleased to announce that Duck has finally started streaming on Twitch again. So you can catch Duck on Twitch at Blue Duck Gold Duck. That's Blue Duck Gold Duck without the E. And you've been doing PTCGO as of late. Or at least you did the other day.
Yeah.
You going to keep it up?
I don't know.
Come on.
We'll see. I'll probably give it a couple more tries, but if I'm not having fun, I'm not going to do it.
Well, maybe if people didn't play these stupid meme decks with you.
Even before that happened, that was a disaster. But even before the meme deck, I wasn't really, I was pushing my, you know what I mean? I was acting. I wasn't actually having fun. So we'll see. I'll give it a few more tries. I got to get access to a few more cards and then, see where that goes.
So if anybody wants to donate an Elgato capture card to Duck so he can just hook a Switch up and play...
Sword and Shield?
No, Dungeon probably. You know that.
I mean, that might be more interesting, yeah.
See? There you go. So
doing some high-level dungeons.
Duck's accepting donations at this time. All right, Duck, get us out of here.
All right, guys. Until next time, just remember, if it's too good to be blue, it's probably gold.
Have a week!
Just because your card is magic, you think you're safe because you killed my life orb. Baby, do you dare to not flinch? 'Cause I'm coming at watch you like a dark pulse. I know you're gonna throw. You're gonna throw a storm. But I got that lucky chance. There's no critical hits.